Hi Light Warriors, I hope you guys are having an incredible week. I am so excited for this eclipse season to start. So you've probably been already feeling the eclipse energies. So the eclipse, the first eclipse that we have is a lunar eclipse, and this is on November 30th. And then we're going to be having another solar eclipse. So the first eclipse that we're going to have is going to happen during a full moon. So it's going to be very, very powerful. It's going to be supercharged, so you're probably feeling really sleepy, having super vivid dreams, dreaming with exes, like ex-lovers, ex-bosses, ex-co-workers, or just like bringing up past memories, because what eclipse season is about, eclipse season is all about bringing up everything that's been in the shadow. So this is going to be such a powerful event. Let me know, how are you feeling this eclipse energy? Let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments, how are you feeling this eclipse energy? It's really building up so much, and it's really going to start, like, we're already starting to feel it, and we've already been starting to feel it over the past, I want to say the past 2 weeks, and now it's only going to get more and more intense. So let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments, how are you feeling this energy? Are you having vivid dreams? Do you feel super tired? We're also going to be getting hit with a lot of ascension symptoms as well, because right now we're being prepared for the December 21st alignment. So on December 21st, it's a huge shift that our planet will go through, and all of us are going to feel it. So this eclipse season, it's really preparing us for that huge alignment that's coming on December 21st. So just let me know in the chat, like, how are you feeling? Are you able, like, are you sleeping well? Are you having issues sleeping? I've been sleeping like 10 hours like between 8.5 to 10 hours, like on a weekly basis, because these ascension symptoms are just getting a little bit overwhelming on our bodies. So I'm going to talk a lot about the body during this video. I'm going to share with you tips for how to keep your body more aligned, so that you don't have the headaches, you don't feel super tired, so that you don't feel overwhelmed with the energy that these eclipses are going to bring. I'm also going to share some tips with you with how to deal with the tensions that you might be facing with your family as you're going to be connecting with your family during this holiday season. And lastly, we're going to end with some amazing tips for how to get the most benefit from this eclipse season, because this eclipse season is really going to be so potent. Let me just turn on the chat right now, because I can't really see your chat. Let me see, how do I turn this on? Okay, perfect. Okay, now I can see your chat. Okay, perfect. So with this eclipse season, okay, what it's really about, you know how before we were talking about the portals, the 1111 portal, everything else that's coming in. So what is happening right now, and I love this, we have 22 people live watching this, and there's 2 likes, so I saw 222 a lot today. So it's definitely about the energy of balance. 2 is a number of balance, of communication, of cooperation. So definitely, like, bring that into your life over these next few days, because to be honest, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to balance your energy, because we're just getting hit so much. So with the before, right, we just had the 1111 portal, and now we're entering into this eclipse season. Like, then we have the 1212 portal, and then we have the 1221 alignment, which is the winter solstice, and we have another eclipse in December before that. So we're really like gearing up, and these last few months of 2020 are going to be very intense. And before, I was telling you guys on Instagram in my post, I was telling you to rest. This is a time for you to rest and to come back into your energy, because remember how we're talking about we're the caterpillar, and then we were in this cocoon phase transitioning into a butterfly? Well, now we're at that precipice where we are transitioning from this sort of cocoon phase. We know it's no longer about, like, you know, resting and just relaxing and just being. That phase is over. This eclipse is forcing us to act. You have to work with this eclipse, because this is the most incredible opportunity for you to grow, to release all the blocks that you've been holding on to. And as a collective, right? We've picked up so much fear. We've picked up so much frustration. We've picked up so many things over 2020 with all these hardships that are coming up. And this is the time to release. This eclipse, the one that's coming up right now on November 30th, this eclipse is a time of renewal. So what does this mean for you? You need to be not just resting, of course, listen to your body and rest, but you need to be doing the inner work right now because it's a roller coaster ride. Like these last few weeks of 2020, how many weeks do we have left? We have like 5 weeks left in 2020. Can you believe that? And so these last 5 weeks of 2020, they're going to be a roller coaster ride. It's going to be super intense. I mean, November was already very intense, but it's going to continue to be intense. And we already see what's happening around the world with lockdowns coming into place again. And all of these things, that's just one side of it. Because the day before the eclipse, Neptune stations direct. So Neptune was in retrograde for a few months and is stationing direct right before the eclipse. Neptune is the planet of the underworld. It's the planet of illusion. So it's really bringing all of that up to the surface for us to purge. Because we need to get rid of all the blocks. We need to get rid of all the things that we've been holding on to really just reset our energy. So this is a time for you to reset your energy. So what do you have to do? You have to do your inner work. So how do you do your inner work? Well, I bet you've been getting triggered a lot. I know we're entering the holidays, and I think it's so fascinating how eclipse season happens during the holidays, right? Because eclipse season, it's really there to trigger us. Like we're getting triggered with all of the different things that we've been holding inside. All the things that we've been suppressing are coming up. Imagine this is like a volcano rising to the surface, about to explode, and that volcano is you. And so that's what eclipse season is about. It's like bringing all of the stuff that's been stuck inside and bringing that up to the surface. And I just think it's so fascinating how the universe decided to do this right around the holiday season, because guess what, our families are one of the top things that trigger us. Let me know how you're feeling with your family. I mean, I think one of the beautiful things, one of the positive things that came out of COVID and quarantine was that we've learned to appreciate life, and we've learned to appreciate the connections we have, right? Because before, getting a hug, we used to take that for granted, but now it's sort of like illegal. It's now becoming a taboo to hug someone, to give someone and embrace them. So just really, it's just such fascinating times that we're living in right now. So someone just wrote, my ascension symptoms are boiling over. Well, guess what? It's going to continue. Okay, and that's why you have to really ground your energy out. Because if you're feeling the energy right now, right around November 27, the energy is going to peak so high. The energy is going to peak so high. Also, can you guys let me know how the music is? Is the music high? Is it low? Are you guys able to hear me and stuff? Let me know. I'll turn it down a little bit. So, yes, Emma, we're definitely not taking hugs for granted ever again, right? Or even seeing our loved ones. So there's just so many lessons jam-packed into November, okay? And again, we're getting prepared for the incredible and massive shift that's going to come on the winter solstice on 12/21, okay? So Alyssa just asked an amazing question. What is the best way to do the work? So the best way to do the work is to look at what's triggering you. So let's say like you're walking into the grocery store, right? You're going to grab your turkey, you're going to go grab, your gravy, whatever, and you get triggered by someone being annoying, you get triggered by someone being rude. All of that is going to start coming up so frequently. It's going to be with strangers, it's going to be with your family, at work, etc., because that's something that needs to be healed and released, okay? So this is a time for revival. So whenever you see anything that's frustrating you, whenever you see anything that's annoying you, anything that's making you feel like, like your blood is boiling, that is a sign that something there needs to be looked at. So the best way to do this is to just be compassionate with yourself. You're a human. Of course you're meant to be angry. Of course you're meant to be annoyed. So don't judge yourself for it, okay? We all are like this. It's just we have a whole range of human emotions and we're meant to have them, okay? Don't suppress the anger. Don't suppress the whatever, whatever uncomfortable emotion you're feeling. Don't suppress it. Just allow it to be there and ask questions. Imagine as if your higher self is coming in and it's talking to your ego. Okay, so because your ego is the one that's hurt and is feeling annoyed. Your ego is the one that's angry and it's feeling irritated and anxious, etc. So just imagine your higher self coming in. Literally make this fun, okay? Make this fun, okay? Bring joy into it. Imagine that an alien version of you, your higher self is coming in and it's talking to your ego and it's hey, why did that person who smacked over those cookies in the middle of the aisle, why did that annoy you? And then you sort of have a conversation, okay? It's imagine as a kid when we used to have imaginary friends. I had so many imaginary friends. I don't know about you, but I was talking to a whole bunch of people. It's also I was talking to angels and stuff when I was little, so that was a lot of fun. But anyways, imagine as if you're talking to an imaginary friend, but that's your ego. And then just ask, just be curious. Don't be judgmental. So be just ask, why did that piss you off? Why did that trigger you? Why did that annoy you? And just ask why. And then, create that safe space out of curiosity. So bring wonder into, why is this triggering me? Once you bring that curiosity, right? Because children are so curious. They're always asking a million questions. And I think that's such a powerful gift that children have, and we as adults forgot that power. So just bring that curiosity, bring that sense of wonder, and ask why am I upset that I'm thinking about my ex? Why am I getting triggered that my ex texts me, and why do I feel angry? Because you will be having dreams with your exes, they will be hitting you up. So just be prepared for that. Why? Because the universe, what the eclipse does, it's literally bringing everything that you've been avoiding, everything that you've dug right down into the volcano. It's bringing that up so it could come up to the light, so that you can transmute it and finally release it. Because okay, if we talk about, step far from this for a second, okay, if we talk about this from a galactic perspective, okay, so not talking about the micro aspect, but the MacroCosmo aspect, well, our planet is going through a huge shift, and that's going to happen on December 21st. You've probably heard a lot of people talking about it, but that actually is just a small fraction of what's happening in the big picture, right? We're all transitioning to the fifth dimension as a human species, but also as a planet. So even animals, their DNA is changing and stuff too. So that's the really cool part. You'll see that your animals, if you have any pets at home, they will start to change as well. Their personality, their behaviors, etc. Right around portals, my dog Avatar, he's always jumping in his dreams, and he's very active in his dreams. Okay, so in this macro aspect, right, we're making this huge shift into the fifth dimension, and between 2012 and 2032, that's where this is the 0 point, this is the void, and this is where all this transformation is happening, right? The fifth dimension will start to happen around the 2030s, that decade. And so right now what's happening we're like being prepared for this next major shift. Imagine as if like we're in a video game, okay? This is just a game. Life is a journey, life is a game. You've probably heard that before. And imagine you're a video game character and you're going up into another level. That's what's gonna happen on December 21st. It's already happening right now. And this is like, we're prepping for it, you know? It's like we're practicing for what's gonna come. And the practice is happening during this eclipse. But the most important thing that you can do is do that inner work now, because when the eclipse energy hits you, oh my gosh, it's going to be so overwhelming. You're going to feel anxious. You're going to have a lot of stuff like just coming at you, triggering you nonstop. So to prevent it from being so intense, it will help for you to do this work now. So just pay attention to what's triggering you, what are you giving away your power to, etc., etc. Okay, so hey guys, for those of you on Instagram, join us on YouTube Live. You can click the link in my bio or go to our IG stories, but we're gonna continue the the live on YouTube. Okay, see you soon. Okay, so we had like a bunch of people on Instagram Live. So that's one thing that we can do, okay? Like focus on doing the inner work and just see what's like really pushing your buttons. Identify those things. Don't be judgmental. That's number one. Go into a space of curiosity, right? And don't judge it, because that's what's going to help you to reveal the most. Whatever is really hidden underneath the surface, okay? That's what eclipses do. They bring all that up to the surface. So Steven's asking, how should we handle the chaos? Hey, Rai. So to handle the chaos, this is really on a person by person basis, but the number one thing that kept coming when I was connecting was move. Okay, this is a time for you to move. What does that mean? It's for you to move into action. We've already spent time in the cocoon. We've already spent time being and resting and paying to our bodies, which is important. We need to continue to do that. But now in addition, we need to act. We need to do that inner work. What are we holding on to that's not letting us move forward? Okay, so number one thing is, how do you deal with the chaos? Is you act in your own little bubble, okay? Because you are creating your, just create a safe space for yourself, because there's going to be chaos on the global scale. Like there's going to be chaos across the US, but that doesn't mean that you have to be in the chaos. Like Goddess Sekhmet showed me a tornado, right? When we were talking about how do we deal with the chaos, and she was telling me that like she showed me a tornado, and in the center of the tornado is completely still and calm. So that's where you should be, right? When you're moving, when you're acting from a space of calmness. You're not reacting to the next coronavirus law, the next political law. You are responding. You are in your power, and you are deciding with your own sovereign power and action to do what you want, okay? And this is where you are returning and you're claiming back your power. You're not giving your power away to the government. You're not giving your power away to the media. You're not giving away your power to society, to your partner, to your boss, etc. No, your power is here. Your power is inside, and you're acting from this space of calmness, okay, and alignment. So the number one thing I would recommend is definitely ground. Grounding is going to help you to act and move in a very calm and focused way, right? Because I'm going to read you guys something that came in during one of the when I was connecting, okay? So it's saying the movement of chi guides the vitality of the moment. So chi is prana, it's life force, right? It's energy. And so the movement of energy, of life force, of prana, of chi, it guides the vitality of the moment. This basically means like wherever your energy is going in the present moment, that's going to give you the most vitality. So if you focus your awareness, if you focus your alignment, your action, and your movement to the present thing that you're doing right now, that is going to give you the most vitality, the most energy. So this means don't multitask, focus on one task at a time. Just align, like whether you're washing the dishes, whether you're writing a book, whether you're working on your next project, or you're listening to someone, like whatever it is that you're doing, focus on it 100%, and that's going to like give you a lot of life force. You're gonna get a lot of downloads. It's like you're directly aligned with God's source, spirit, whatever you believe in. Okay, imagine as if like your antenna is coming up. Like we're all aliens, right? We're aliens in human bodies, and imagine it's like an antenna is coming up from your head, right? As I'm aware in this present moment, and my antenna can now receive what's coming in from my spirit guides, from my higher self, from my starseed family, etc., etc. Okay, so just really bring up your antenna. The way that you bring up your antenna to receive the most vitality, the most creativity, the most joy, abundance, etc., is by bringing your awareness to the present moment. Every time you bring your awareness to the present moment, your antenna is like, hey, I'm here. I'm ready to get all the information that I need. Okay, so that's number one. Okay, the other thing that was I loved hearing, what's leaning to the left? My antenna is too heavy for my head. It's leaning to the left. I love that. Yeah, I mean, you just gotta calibrate it, and that happens. Okay, it happens. It's going to happen, right? Where your antenna is like the left side of the body. The left side is the divine feminine energy, and that means that it's leaning towards your intuition, and your intuition is amazing, and you need to calibrate it as well with the logical, right? With the action oriented. Okay, so this is where you align. Again, focus on acting with divine guidance from yourself, from your intuition. So with the divine feminine, we allow the messages to come to us. We're just being in the present moment, and that's how we get all of our information. And once we get that information, then we act with that information. So you see, you go from the left side to the right side. So practice that, right? Okay, one other really awesome message that, yes, I'm gonna save this live so you guys can watch it later. Also, I recommend that you watch it again. I mean, I watch these again because I often don't remember what I said during them, because a lot of this is really just like, it is channeling, and we're all channeling. We all have this ability, okay? So one of the messages that also came down was the curtains are coming down right now. So as you heard, Neptune is going to station direct right before the eclipse. So Neptune is the planet that reveals illusion. Okay, so the curtains are coming down. Okay, so think about the Wizard of Oz, right? So the curtains are coming down. And what happens during a play? Think about a play. Okay, when the curtains come down, all the actors, they're busy changing, they're sprinting to change their costumes, they're sprinting to change the scene of the stage, etc., etc. So they're preparing for the next act. So that is what is happening right now. During this like eclipse season, we are preparing for the next act, which is the next phase of ascension. Okay, it's going to be a very the next phase of ascension is going to be very focused on our bodies. Okay, there's going to be a lot of solar flares coming in, so pay attention to your body. Move, do yoga, do some dancing, like do a type of exercise that you enjoy. But the number one message, like it's literally written on my notebook 3 times, like move, move, move. And Spirit has brought that message very clearly that we need to move our bodies. We need to move the energy around, because when this intense energy that's coming down, I mean, just think about how big the moon is, right? Think about how big the sun is. Think about how big Neptune is. Like, these planets are huge, and when their energy is affecting us, that's a lot of energy. It's overwhelming for our tiny bodies. So what do we have to do? We have to sort of recalibrate our energy to match that energy and integrate that. Otherwise, you will have anxiety. Otherwise, you will have uncomfortable body, like ascension symptoms. Okay, one big ascension symptom I'm currently have been working through for the past few months is my sinuses. Like, my sinuses have been so stuffed and clogged and stuffy. And it's because our bodies are becoming more sensitive to the pollution, to the toxins in the air. And so what you have to do is you need to connect with your body and really align your body so that it can receive these activations, and also so that your body can like still function in the most optimal way as our earth is transitioning, because Mother Earth is also, she's changing, and we're going to see a lot of erratic weather over these next few months. I mean, 2021, it really has a lot of crazy like things happening with the weather, and also with storms and all of that. Okay, so just remember that. Okay, so let's see what else. So it's also saying like one big thing is like, as we're moving through this storm, like and I don't want to call it as a storm because it's not something scary. Let's just imagine like you're driving at night, and you're driving and it's super misty, okay, and you're not able to see clearly, and that's sort of what's happening right now. A lot of the illusion is coming up. I mean, look at all the information, and we are systematically, we are intentionally being misguided by all the different sources. Okay, we're being misguided on purpose. We're being confused on purpose. Why? Because it's easy to control people when they're confused. So what can we do is we need to really find that center alignment. How do you do that? Go into the darkness. What do I mean by go into the darkness? That's what the eclipse is asking us to do. Go into the shadow aspect of your personality. Now, your shadow aspect of your personality is like everything that you don't like about yourself. Maybe you don't like that you're impatient. Maybe you don't like that you're always relying on others' opinions. Maybe you don't like how someone else treats you, right? Pay attention to all the things that trigger you, all the things that you like, you get a sort of like a fight or flight response. Pay attention to those things, because now is the time to heal them. Okay, this time is the most like incredible time for our spiritual and our personal growth. There is no better time to do your inner work, to grow personally right now. When we're in the darkness, right? Imagine like us being in the darkness, like a seed, right? A seed is planted in the darkness of the soil, but in the soil, that's where it gets water, right? Through irrigation systems, that's where it gets nutrients from the soil. So in that darkness, it has the nutrients to grow, right, into a beautiful flower. So right now you're in this darkness, right? You're in your seed point. Now you need to go look for the things. What are those toxins, right? What are those GMOs that you're holding on to? Like, what toxic belief systems do you have? Do you feel like you're not good enough? Do you feel like you're not smart enough? Do you feel like you're not worthy? Like, what are those things? What are those toxic things in your mind, in your belief systems, like that you've been holding on to? Maybe your parents told you you're stupid, or like, don't talk, like, you talk too much. Maybe that happened to you as you were a child, and you kept those beliefs inside, and as an adult, it's no longer serving you. Okay, that's why you're not confident, because you're still using those toxic belief systems. And again, this is why our parents trigger us, because our parents are one of the biggest sources of our growth. Both physically, because they're literally nourishing us, we're drinking our mother's breast milk, but also the things that they say, and sometimes they were not loving, right? Because again, they were humans, and this is where we have to do forgiveness work, especially around during this holiday season. Like, I would recommend that all of you like do the Hopono with your parents. If you're gonna, even if you're not going to see your parents, right? As we're entering holiday season, because of travel restrictions and all of that, maybe you might not see your parents, or you might not see your siblings, etc., your loved ones. But you know they're gonna call you because it's holiday season. So the best way to ease that tension that you might experience from the best way that you might ease those tensions with your family is by doing the Hopono. So this is a native Hawaiian prayer, and you basically just visualize the other person in front of you, okay? And when you ask them for forgiveness, you're asking for forgiveness. Like, let's say your mom said you talked too much when you were little. Okay, you're gonna ask her for forgiveness because maybe you asked a lot of questions, and she was just at that point in her like life journey, she didn't have the patience. So you were sort of, triggering her. So you're going to ask her for forgiveness. But when we ask for forgiveness, it's sort of like we're not forgiving that person's like, the maltreatments that they had with us. No, we're sort of doing the forgiveness for ourselves. So again, Buddha has this beautiful phrase, and it's like, when you hold fire, which is anger, who gets burned? The other person or you? We're the ones getting burned, right? So I would recommend that you definitely, do the Hopono, and the way that you do this, you visualize the other person in front of you, and all you say is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Okay, and I'll write that down in the description of this video, but that's a really powerful practice. And they did this is a native Hawaiian prayer, and they did this in like this really isolated jail. Like there was this prison in Hawaii, and like the people in that prison, they were like the worst of the worst. Like, they had done a bunch of horrible things, but they did the Hopono as their rehabilitation, and a lot of those people were healed. So it's such a powerful practice, and we've been gifted by the native peoples of Hawaii. It's so powerful. Okay, so. And that's one more thing, okay? So one thing is also, as Neptune is stationing direct, along with the eclipses, right? Because eclipses, the darkness that's coming is sort of there to show us the illusion. What is the darkness that we've brought into our lives? So what is really good right now, and something that came from Spirit, was stop clutching to reality, because reality is always changing. Reality is always drifting, right? We're always evolving. The universe is always expanding. Tomorrow when you wake up, you would have learned something new, right? Your skin cells, like, they renew every 6 months or something, and you have a whole set of new skin in 6 months or something like that, okay? So stop trying to hold on to what reality is, and just sort of release that. So one big thing is talking about COVID, right? We've been so upset about I want to go outside. I can't believe I can't go outside. I can't do X, Y, Z. Well, that's what it is at the present moment, okay? And so we need to release that and find different, where your attention goes, energy flows. So maybe you can't go to the mall, but guess what? You can go hiking. You can go get some fresh air. You can go explore a place in your city that you've never been to. So really, just focusing on that is really, really powerful, okay? So it's in this moment where you're just flowing with reality, right? Just not holding on to anything that reality is. It's in this moment of flow. That's where the water's clear. So remember that metaphor that we were talking about. You're driving and it's super foggy out and you can't see the road. Well, eventually, as you go with the flow, everything clears up. It's like the mist goes down and the sun comes up and it's shining and there's rainbows everywhere. That is where we're heading to, right? We're heading to this rainbow prophecy. We're heading to the fifth dimension, right? As rainbow warriors, guiding humanity there, okay? So, right, even though right now we can't see, the new chapter is coming, and that new chapter again is going to be triggered. A part of that new chapter is going to be triggered on December 21st, 2020. And there's the whole Mayan thing about that. That I'll make a separate video about that, because that's a whole big topic that I won't have time to talk about now. Okay. But basically, what you can do for this eclipse is really pay attention to what programs, what toxic belief systems you have. What are those belief systems that are holding you back? And allow those toxic belief systems to come up, and they will come up because that's what the eclipse is there to do. It's there to trigger you. So as those come up to the surface, this is a time for you to renew yourself, right? Renew yourself. Get ready for this next scene of the play. Get ready for this next chapter of ascension. And this is where you release that negative belief system once and for all, and you allow you allow new energy to come in. You allow new empowering belief systems to come in that will help you to create the life that you want and deserve. Okay? And I mean, there's just so many beautiful messages. But I would definitely recommend that you guys like shut the lights off if you can over, like, especially as you get over these next few days as we lead up to the eclipse. Like, just shut the lights off and just play some music, like the music that you love, and just move your body around, because you're going to move a lot of energy in. You're going to get so much insight. It's going to be very, very healing. And again, just be compassionate with yourself, because we are going through this like ascension process. One thing is that there's also not everything is happening organically. So I made a video a few months ago talking about how the United States created a new military branch. So there's a whole new military branch. Like, so apart from the Navy and Air Force, there's a branch that just deals with like galactic stuff. So you guys, I'll add that video in the description of this video. But basically right now what's happening is inner space is being militarized. So we are militarizing the cosmos, and this is very dangerous because they're testing a lot of things. Like, think about what they did during the nuclear tests, right? They would go out into the desert and they would test bombs and stuff. Well, there's a lot of tests going on right now in the cosmos, and that's why you're feeling a little bit, you know, wobbly, unsettled, etc. And that's why it's important for you to ground. Okay, it's very important for you to connect with your center point, with your alignment, and it's very important for you to spend some time in nature to help you to counteract all the artificial stuff that's happening. Because unfortunately now warfare is changing. Warfare is not guns and cannons anymore and tanks. Now it's cyber warfare. It's like aerospace warfare, weather warfare. A lot of the natural disasters are actually caused by not nature, believe it, you know. So a lot of this is not organic. So just again, this is why it's important for you to really like manage your energy, because we are getting bombarded by different interfering forces from the outside. Okay, and it's very important for you to align yourself. So we have a meditation, and I'll put in the description of this video to help you do your inner work. It's on YouTube, and it'll help you to connect with that shadow side. And we're also hosting a full moon meditation. It's going to be on November 30th at 5:30 p.m. PST. I'll add the link in the description of this video, or you can click the link in our Instagram bio. But we're going to be doing a full moon ceremony. For this full moon eclipse ceremony, it's going, a lot of the time, you know, we connect with goddesses and gods, and our starseed family, our ancestors, etc. But for this specific eclipse, because it's a time for renewal, it's like where we are re-emerging, right? We are emerging back from the cocoon and entering into this butterfly cathartic state. We are going to be connecting with our higher selves, because right now it's, again, like I said, this is the best time for you to do your inner work. This is going to be the most transformational, you will experience the most growth that you've experienced all year around over these next few weeks. That's how powerful this time frame is. And so this is a good time for you to connect with, like, what is your life purpose? What sets your soul on fire? What are you here to do? Because you were born here for a very specific reason. I mean, your soul is so smart. It chose the country, the city, the hair color, the eye color. It chose the family that you wanted to be born into, because you come here with a special life purpose, and you knew that this whole ascension process was going to be happening. And so you have a very important role in this shift as we're transitioning from an old world, from the dark ages, to a new world, to the golden ages. And so you know, spend some time really reflecting on these deep questions, like what is holding you back from like unlocking that abundance, joy, clarity, purpose that you have, and really spend this time on those big tough questions, because there's no better time to focus and reflect than now during eclipse season. Again, the eclipse is even if you're watching this later, the eclipse, we're going to have another one in December. It's going to be a solar eclipse. So you can still work with this energy. So use this time. It's a very important time to do this work. So that's one thing. Now I want to talk a little bit more about, how we're going to be facing our families over the holidays. And again, we chose our parents, we chose our siblings. Believe it or not, yes, you did choose your parents. I know that's sometimes hard to believe for some people, but we did choose them because we made a contract. Like, we wanted to learn this, and this parent was going to teach us this. Maybe they weren't going to teach it in the most joyful and fun way, but that's what sort of happens during this incarnation experience and being a human. But with families, right, with loved ones, they are very triggering. Why? Because they're really here to help you to grow. So really look at those triggers. Like, why is my brother annoying me? Or why is my cousin calling me out like this, etc., etc. So pay attention to those triggers. At the same time, it's very important for you to make sure you don't absorb your family's energy. I know that's very hard because we're all energetically connected. But what I would recommend is to really just shine a lot of light around your aura, shine a lot of light around yourself. And we're teaching an alchemy class for if you want to learn how to do that. I'll add that in the description of this video as well. But you want to shine light around you to create, it's like a shield, okay? And it's like you're creating a shield so you don't absorb other people's energy, because this is just something that automatically happens, especially if you're an empath. If you can feel people's emotions, if you can feel what they're going through, you're an empath. And as empaths, it's like you're a sponge and you're just absorbing everything. Yeah, right? You're totally right. So Rai is talking about the golden pyramid. Definitely use that. And so what you want to do also is you want to shine light. Even before you go to see your family, if you're going to be seeing them during this holiday season, send them love, send them abundance, send them joy, send them peace, send them harmony, right before you see them. Because when you see them, it's going to be such a different experience. 100%, trust me, I've done this with the most intense people, and it's shifted their energy in 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds. So definitely, what I like to do is I just like to envision them with either gold light or a pink light, and it's coming from my heart, and it's purely altruistic, right? There's no strings attached, but I'm just sending them so much love, so much joy. May they have joy, may they have peace, may they have abundance, all of this, and they will definitely feel that. Okay, and it will shift. Even if they're not aware of all this energy stuff, it will automatically send it to them, because just like Wi-Fi, there's Wi-Fi in your room right now, but you can't see the Wi-Fi. It's the same thing with this energy that you're sending out to them, with this love, with this light that you're sending to them. They won't be able to see it, but they will definitely feel it. Okay, so definitely try this. And Emma, even if you already saw your family, just do it now. Do it the next time, right before you see them. Do this, and it's going to help so much. I guarantee it. I mean, I've done this with cops, I've done this with lawyers, and I've gotten out of tickets, I've gotten refunds from lawyers, and it's pretty hard to negotiate with a lawyer. So this stuff is so powerful, so use it, okay? So again, the full moon is going to be on the 30th. You definitely want to make sure you work with it. If you want to join us, we're having a full moon ceremony and meditation where you're going to connect with your higher self to get guidance, to get clarity, and to release those hidden blocks. To release the hidden blocks that you might not be aware of. And then what we're also going to do is we're gonna optimize our soul's path, so that we can align ourselves with because there's different timelines, right? Just like there's different time zones around the world, there are different timelines. And so we're going to align our higher self with the most optimal timeline for this current reincarnation. So that's going to help you to also, like, if you're having trouble, like, you know, having the courage to pursue your life purpose, or not sure what your life purpose is, that is going to help you a lot. Okay, so again, you can click the link in our bio on Instagram, or you can click the description of this video, and you can join us there, or you know, do the work on your own. But when you meditate with a group, it's 6 times more powerful. And we're also going to be doing an alchemy ritual during our ceremony, so it's going to be very powerful and very beautiful. People always have such incredible experiences in our ceremonies. So do you guys have any questions? I have 5 minutes because I have to teach a class after this, but let me know if you guys have any questions. You can type them in the chat or in the comments. But I'm really excited for this. This is going to be such an exciting eclipse. So just remember to do your inner work, move your body, move the energy around, because it can get overwhelming. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me see what else. Yeah, here one more thing that, like, Spirit said was saying how a gift. So triggers are a gift, okay? So triggers are a gift. And so a gift, triggers are a gift that you refuse to receive. So now is the time to unravel the gift of the triggers. So anything that's annoying you, any blocks that you have, imagine that the trigger is a gift, right? The block is a gift, and you're unwrapping it. So when people wrap presents, right, they usually put it in a bag, and then they put stuffing inside, and then they wrap it even more. So imagine if you're like, you're like unraveling the gift right now. And, you know, as the anticipation arises, you're going to reveal it layer by layer, again, that gift, as you open it. And then you're going to find the gift inside. And that's the gift, that's the lesson from that trigger. Because we have these wounds, like our inner child, we have these wounds from past lives, from our younger life. And the triggers are really gifts because they show us what needs to be healed. What do we finally need to face and release once and for all? And that is the theme for this eclipse. It's really letting go of all that crap that you've been holding on to. Just really letting it go once and for all. Like, that is what the energy of this eclipse is. You just need to let go of all that crap you've been holding on to, because you're here for a very special purpose, and you are a chosen one. It's so difficult to reincarnate on earth, especially right now. So you have a divine purpose. You are incredibly magical and powerful, and you need to use your magic. But you won't be able to use it if you're walking around with all this baggage and all this crap you're holding on to. Okay, so just let it go, release it. Okay, and it's like, and then it's really beautiful, because one thing that kept coming up was like the potential, right? The potential of the seed, because again, during this eclipse, and Neptune again is stationing direct, and Neptune is the planet of illusion of the underworld. So it's during this time where we journey into the underworld, into the darkness, into the uncertainty, when we journey into our insecurities, into our vulnerabilities, into our pain, right? Into our fears. It's in that darkness, that void. Is the potential. Imagine, like, when you were born, you were this fetus, and right before you were going through your mom's birth canal, like, that is the void. Like, there's nothing, it's just pure darkness. And then you come out into the light, you know, with your beautiful self. And as a miracle, life is such a miracle. And so it's the same thing that that's happening right now. Like, we're being pushed through the birth canal, and again, we're being pushed into the lightness, and that shift that's going to be coming with the solstice on the 21st of December. Okay, so definitely use this time. It's such a beautiful time to do the work, to really, like, use this time for personal and all types of growth. Also, before I let you guys go, I just have to remind you, we're giving away this activated amethyst pyramid. It has orgonite in it. So this actually protects you from EMF. I saw some of you guys talking about that in the chat. So this protects you from any radiation that's coming from your phone, from your electronics, etc. Another tip, turn off your Wi-Fi before you go to sleep so that that doesn't affect your sleep or your energy body. Okay, so I always turn off my Wi-Fi router before I go to sleep. So this crystal was activated during one of our ceremonies in Mount Shasta, which is known to a lot of people as the root chakra of Mother Earth. And we did a ceremony with the starseed presence there. There's so much starseed presence there. And so we did a ceremony and they came into our circle. So this crystal is blessed with that starseed energy. And so we're giving this away. The winner will be announced on December 1st. It's super easy. All you have to do is subscribe, comment on the videos. Every comment that you add, it's another chance for you to win. And there's unlimited entries, so comment as much as you want. And if you enjoyed this, please share this with a friend. Please share this with a loved one, because we really need to help each other rise and go through this dark period so that we can again come into the tunnel of light that's waiting for all of us. And again, if you guys want to win that, we're going to be announcing the winner next week, so I'm excited for that. So I hope you guys have an awesome eclipse, and I hope you guys, really take this time. This is a magical, really powerful time for us to do our personal work, our inner work, and to really take our lives to the next level. That's what this is about, taking your personal and spiritual life to the next level. Because once you start letting go of all those limiting beliefs and all that crap that you've been holding on to, life is going to get so much easier. You're going to have so much more joy and fun and actually enjoy life rather than just go through life and life happen to you. Okay, so work with this eclipse. I hope to see you guys at our full moon ceremony. And also, if you watch this and it's already the eclipse happened, you can still get the recording of our full moon ceremony. It's still going to be just as powerful, and you can click the link in the description of this video to get more information about that. Honey, am I forgetting anything? Okay. So I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your night. Bye, Victoria. Bye, Ayu. Happy eclipse. Have fun, everyone. Enjoy this awesome eclipse season and enjoy these last 5 weeks of 2020. Use them, work with it to really start 2021 on the right foot. 2021 is going to be like another roller coaster ride, but you want to make sure that you're riding the ride instead of, just getting taken away by all the chaos and everything. So sending you guys so much love. Namaste.